Hey everybody, it's Jason with Parallel Reality coming back with you today with an article from Red State. This is dated October 16th, and this is kind of making the rounds on social media right now because it just kind of shows you how anti-Semitism has become mainstream, at least in England, if not Europe more broadly. But the article is entitled, "This is Bonkers. Israeli fans banned from attending soccer match in the UK." So you're probably going, who cares? And, because A, it's soccer, and nobody in the United States really seems to care that much about soccer. And B, it's in the UK, so who cares? It's not America, but it's kind of a symptom of a wider problem here. So let's get into it. It says, an absolutely bonkers story is emerging from across the pond this Thursday afternoon, and it's not a good look for our British cousins. The famed UK soccer team, known as Aston Villa Football Club, that's Prince William, the heir to the throne, is a club superfan, announced on Thursday that it would not allow fans of the Israeli team, Maccabi Tel Aviv, to attend a November match at Aston Villa Stadium in Birmingham. It says from the announcement, and before we get to the announcement, for what very little I know about international soccer, so by all means, if somebody that knows better than I do, please correct me, it's fine, that, I know Maccabi Tel Aviv does not play in the same league as Aston Villa, who I believe is a Premier League team, which I could easily check. I'm just not going to right now. But they do have friendly matches against each other. Not necessarily these two teams, but different teams from different leagues across Europe do eventually or at points have friendly matches against each other. So this is just one of those. I don't think it counts for anything. Maybe it does. Again, correct me if I'm wrong. But so this is a fairly normal thing for a team from one country to go face a team from another country, even though they're not in the same league. Because usually, I know for people in the United States, typically with our sports leagues, everything is just things are in different states, but not necessarily different countries, or it's Canada, which is, basically America anyway. But whatever, I'm blabbering, but, this is a perfectly normal thing. So let's get into what the announcement actually was. And it says, Aston Villa can confirm the club has been informed that no away fans may attend the UEFA Europa League match with Maccabi Tel Aviv on Thursday. Okay, so it is an actual, not just a regular friendly thing. It is for something. I know what the UEFA is in the Europa League match. Okay, so I lied. I correct myself. So it's on Thursday, November 6th, and it's following an instruction from the Safety Advisory Group. And you'll love to know why they were banned. It says, as way of explanation, the team claimed the ban of Israeli, aka Jewish, fans, which they downplay as merely away fans, was due to security fears, saying local law enforcement have public safety concerns outside the stadium bowl and have the ability to deal with any potential protests on the night. The team, rather glaringly, did not address which segment of the community might show up with violent intentions towards fans of the Israeli team. It says, please feel free to draw your own conclusions. Yeah, I wonder who it could possibly be that's going to show up to actually be the violent rioter types. I just don't know. I'm aghast. I don't know. Somebody please inform me. So his backlash was swift, with one conservative member of parliament tweeting he was sad, angry, and ashamed at the decision to ban Maccabi Tel Aviv fans, which is the tweet that is on the screen right now if you want to take a peek. We're not going to click on that, but you can see it. And skipping down, it says, those who've been paying attention to what's been happening in the UK of late might be gobsmacked to learn that Prime Minister Keir Starmer, who's often called two-tier Keir for the two-tier justice system that seems to have emerged during his time at 10 Downing Street, which is basically 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue for people that don't know, said Aston Villa had made the wrong decision. Well, it's nice of him to say that, but he also, was saying just not that long ago that he supported Palestine having, a state. So, which one is it, my dude? You've allowed a lot of this stuff to happen, and now you're going, this is bad. It's kind of your fault, man. So Starmer's take is rather rich, considering his nation has seen supporters of Hamas regularly take to the streets to spew anti-Israel and anti-Semitic hatred in the wake of October 7th. Violence and intimidation is the name of that game, and Starmer's government has done very little to beat it back. Jewish fans of Aston Villa maintain blame for the decision falls directly on law enforcement officials, not the club or its fan base. And here is a tweet from Andrew Fox, who he's a supporter of Israel. He's an Englishman, and he talks about this stuff a lot. But yeah, just a very quick thing, and I'm not going to click on that either. We'll skip over. Oh, it's down here. I forget. Red State does that. So it says, statement from the Aston Villa Jewish villains Is that really? They're called the Villains Supporters Club, of which I'm proud to be honorary president. Is the club's actual name, it's like New York Yankees or Chicago Cubs, like it's the Aston Villa Villains? All right. I mean, oh, Villains, it's from Aston Villa. Okay. I was like, wait, it took me a minute to put two and two together there. I've always said I'm stupid, so there you go. There's more proof of that. It says, in the summer of 1938, on a tour of Germany, the name Aston Villa became famous around the world as the only visiting team who refused an official request to perform the Nazi salute prior to kickoff. Today, the same club have been forced by local authorities to salute modern-day Nazism. As we lay no blame on Villa, it would absolutely not be safe to allow thousands of Jews to walk around Aston and its surroundings. Why that may be should trouble. I'm going to read that again because I butchered that. Why that may be so should trouble the entire country and tremble the entire country. It must also be said that following the announcement, we have been inundated with Villa fans happy to give up their seats to traveling Tel Aviv supporters. I would say if you're Jewish or Israeli, don't go to the game. I mean, sure, it's nice to go there and like have a statement thing to be like, see, we're not afraid. Only bad things are going to happen. Just don't. It says the late Charlie Kirk traveled to England back in May and was astounded by what he saw during his time there. And rest in peace, Charlie. It's still, God, my stomach still drops every time I see his name, and I think, like, damn, he's actually gone. Anyway, it says he offered some on-point observations, such as it being a totalitarian third-world hellhole that was a husk of its former self. It's tragic, said Kirk. I don't say that with glib. I don't say that with delight. It is sad, it's chilling, and depressing, and it's depressing. He's not wrong. Man hardly ever was. It says he told GB News that this is increasingly a conquered country. We love this country from afar, and we're really sad about what's happening to it and what has happened to it. Kirk had also visited a cafe where every single table was taken by a Mohammedan and a fully burqa-wearing woman, not a single native Brit. It says, in light of Charlie's experience, you can see how the UK has reached the point of banning Israelis from attending soccer matches. It says, we'll leave you with this. Earlier this week, 2 of the returning Israeli hostages were treated to a special welcome home from Maccabi Tel Aviv and its fans. And again, correct me if I'm wrong, soccer fans, but Maccabi Tel Aviv, I think, is actually Israel's largest team. Like the team everybody knows, like Manchester United for England, stuff like that. So here is the little flyover that they had, and that is the end of the article. But there's also a couple of British MPs, so members of their parliament, who put out tweets, they're Muslims, saying this is basically that it was good that these fans were banned. And that basically we did it, yay. And it's no, this isn't a good thing, dude. But, Muslims are going to do what Muslims are going to do, especially in the UK. They're going to do what you need to do. UK, you got a problem, and you probably should work on fixing that problem. So that's really all I have to say about this. Let me know what you think about this in the comments below. Please like, share, and subscribe, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.